Hi and welcome back to Paimon Theory video series. In the previous video, part 1 and part 2, we already covered in total 8 different possible theories about Paimon. Is there another theory we can find outside those 8? Well, actually there are. So today, once again, we will continue our investigation about not who, but what Paimon really is. Anyways, we will cover another 3 theories about Paimon. So, without further ado, let's get started. One of the biggest unsolved mystery in Genshin Impact is that where exactly the Traveler Sword actually is. Or to be more specific, where is the Traveler power actually stored? This question arises because after meeting the unknown god, the Traveler power seemed to be sealed so that they are instead without any power right now. Without elemental power, let alone their original power. This raised the suspicion that the Traveler Sword or power is actually stored somewhere or even transferred into another form. And that form was none other than Paimon herself. It could be one of the possibility. I personally find this assumption based on the interaction between Paimon and the Traveler, which is quite odd. In some circumstances, Paimon even can feel the power of the Traveler to even get the same effect. One of the newest examples is that the Dendro blessing the Traveler get in Sumeru Archon Quest Act 1 and Act 2, where Paimon gets the same effect, even though it was the Traveler who got the Dendro blessing earlier on the Seisu of the Seven. On the other hand, there are also situations where Paimon is not on the Traveler side, and the Traveler seems to be able to use quote-unquote his original power again, of course under certain circumstances. The most obvious example is when the Traveler faced Raiden A. So, what's really happened here? From these things, there are 2 assumptions or theories which state like this. Number 1, the Traveler power is actually transferred to another form, namely Paimon. And to unlock it, the Traveler must open the 7 statue of the 7. Although that is not intended, or number 2, Paimon is a power limiter to the Traveler, which means Paimon is the one who locks the Traveler power unconsciously. So by that mean, if there is no Paimon, then the Traveler's true power can be recovered. After successfully completing the Sumeru Archon Quest up to Act 4, a big question arises. That is, if the Akasha technology is really a replica of the Illuminsoul, then it cannot be denied that at least Illuminsoul has the same way of working as the Akasha, which means the Sumeru Archon Quest this time could be a replica of Teyvat's current state. This idea is also reinforced by the Aranyaka World Quest, where the quest itself is foreshadowing of what happened to Rukkhadevata, Kusanali, and the whole Sumeru Archon Quest until Act 4. In the short term, Sumeru Archon Quest is equal to mini Teyvat story. And if that is true, then there should be an actors playing as Kusanali and the sages on Teyvat state right now. Of the 4 existing regions, there is one thing that makes them connected to each other, namely the involvement of the God of Time, or more specifically, God of Moment, Ishtaroth. At least, Ishtaroth was involved in some important moments in the history of each region, such as Venti and Thousand Wind Temple, Zhongli Guizhong and the Chasm, Raiden Makoto and Sacred Sakura, and right now, Rukkhadevata to Illuminsoul. That involvement at least leads us to the assumption that maybe the reason Ishtaroth did that was to send a message to the next generation or the next samsara cycle that Ishtaroth really exists. This is the same as Rukkhadevata sending her message within Illuminsoul and leaving Kusanali, her small product form, to the next generation of Sumeru in order to save the problem that occurred in the past. And in this case, Ishtaroth leaves Paimon, their little product along with the knowledge on Teyvat was in the previous samsara, and hopes that Paimon can be the key to saving the current state of Teyvat. One of the unique things that Paimon often does is to always refer to herself in the third person singular in every conversation, which can be considered unnatural in everyday conversation, you know. At first, we thought that this action did not have a specific purpose, But as time goes by and patch updates, we can find suspicious dialogues that Paimon throws. For example, the dialogue in the fishing system, namely,
What is it? What is it? Is it another Paimon?
even the light dialogues in Archon Quest and World Quest indicate that could be another Paimon beside the one we know. Or even the name Paimon itself is not the real name of Paimon, the white floating child we know. Instead, the name is used as a reference, which will lead us to the one thing, namely the in-game mailbox, Paimon. Don't you think that the name Paimon is very suspicious? And it just so happens to be similar to the name Paimon we know. If you are one of the players who believe in Genshin simulation theory, then this coincidence is not suspicious at all and even makes sense. Why? Because it is natural for a program to refer to its main system or administrator, which in this case is Paimon as the program and Paimon as the administrator in Genshin Impact world. So yeah, that's it for today's video. We have already talked about at least 10 possible theories about Paimon in 3 different videos, including this, which is so fascinating to see that our community has different views and opinions about Paimon origin. Besides that, there is still a big picture we don't have yet to solve, not only Paimon origin, but the true nature of Teyvat itself. What is the truth of this world? Why is the sky a lie? Who is Celestia? And what is the forbidden knowledge? Well, I will also cover that topics in the next upcoming video about the Genshin Grand Theory, which is all about the origin of Teyvat and its fate. So if you don't want to miss that video, please consider subscribe to this channel and give the like and comments as a support so I can make the video more confidently. Thanks for watching this video. Hello Zen here and see you next time.